Moving on, we're carrying on with geometry of 2D shapes. We started with triangles. Last week we learned about a rule. Today, I say last week, Tuesday we learned about a rule. Today we're going to recap that rule first before we learn about another one. So Uma, you are up, but before you're up, I'm going to explain this rule again. I just forgot how to function. There we go. So what's this rule that we learned? We learned that I don't like that my recap. Oh my gosh, sorry, my computer is not working with me today. I don't know. There we go. I don't know what it's been doing. Okay, what did we learn? We're recapping Tuesday's lesson. We learned that three angles, in other words, the three angles in a triangle. So this is super important. They must be the three angles inside a triangle. And we spoke about what we call those interior angles. So it's the angles inside my triangle. These angles inside my triangle are called my interior angles. And when we go and we say angle A plus angle B plus our green angle, which is angle C. When we add all of those angles together, there is a rule that we learned. And the rule is that when you add those angles inside of any triangle, they will always add up to 180. If your angles don't add up to 180 degrees when you add the angles inside a triangle, you know you've done something wrong. Now, when you use this rule to calculate the missing side or the missing angle in a triangle, whenever you use this rule, your reason for your statement must always be this: sum of angles in a triangle. So Uma, this one is a fairly easy one. I think I'm going to do this one and you can do the next one or even the last one. I think you can do the last one, Uma. Is that okay with you? I'm taking that as a yes. I saw a hand, Itandile,
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Cool. Itandile? Oh, no? Okay, I saw your hand go down. Okay, cool. Let me do this first one. Yeah, English. English. Okay. So what I see is I see this triangle. Let's call it triangle ABC. And I see that inside this triangle, there's 1, 2, 3 interior angles. From my 3 interior angles, I already know what 2 of them are. I know the size of 2 angles. There's only one angle that I don't know, which means I know I can now go and use this rule up here. Because when I create an equation with this rule, there's only going to be one angle that's unknown, which means I can solve that equation to give me an answer. So let's look at what that would look like. We're going to say 75 degrees plus 55 degrees. And my fives always end up looking like sixes because I like put the tail up so much, but it's a 5. Same with this one. This is a 5. Yo, I have to write that again. That is so ugly. 55. So I'm saying angle A, which is 75, plus this angle C, which is 55, plus angle B, which is X. When I add those angles up, because they are angles in a triangle, the rule is that they're supposed to add up to 180. So why am I making the statement? I'm making the statement because of the rule of sum of angles in a triangle. Was that a hand? Hi, Happy. Hi, Liaho. What am I doing? I'm just looking for a hand. Okay, no hand. I see Uma putting the answer in the chat. Let's go and let's have a look. What I know, I'm solving an equation. When I solve an equation, I want to get my variable by itself, which means anything else that's on the side where the variable is, I want to get rid of it. I want to remove this angle. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I was just checking my screen share. Just stopped for a minute. I want to remove these numbers. Okay, how do I do it? Because this is addition, I'm going to use the inverse of addition and I'm going to subtract. The shortcut of doing the subtraction on both sides is what we call transposing. If you don't know what I mean when I talk about transposing, or if you don't know how to solve this equation, let me know. I'm not going to explain it again. But if you do need an explanation, let me know and I definitely will do that. But for now, I'm going to assume you guys all know how to do transposing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add it up first. I'm going to say 70 plus 50 is 120, plus 5 is 130, plus x equals 180 degrees. And then I want to do this transposing of my 130. When I transpose, my 130 moves to the other side of my equation and my sign changes. And now I can solve this. 180 minus 130 leaves me with 50 degrees. Not too difficult, kind of fun when you get the hang of it. You want to remove it from us, kind of. Umar, yes?
No, ma'am, I'm getting eager to answer.
Okay, you can answer these next two if you want.
Okay, so what
Mhm.
I'm gonna say is x plus 10 plus x plus 70 is equals to 180.
Tell
My
me why.
reason is sum of angles in a triangle. Then
Uh,
afterwards, I'm gonna add up my like terms, so I'll get 2x is equal, no, 2x plus 80 is equals to 180.
okay,
And then
so
afterwards, I'll say x is equals to 180 minus 80.
okay, hold on
2x
for a
is
second.
equals.
So what Umar has said, he's identified like terms. So he says x and x are like terms, so I can add them. Remember, when we're dealing with expressions, with equations, we can only add like terms. Like terms are the terms with the same variables and the same exponents. So he says x and x are like terms, I can add them. When I add x and x, it's basically like saying one apple plus another apple. We're left with two apples. And instead of apples, we're actually dealing with x's. And then with our purple terms, it's 10 and 70. He's saying that plus 80. So he's just added those together for now. Itandila, do you have a question? Okay, while I wait for Itandile, Umar, do you want to continue?
2x is equals to 180 minus 80. 2x is equals to 100. Then you divide by 2 on each side. X is equals to 50.
Ah, that's not supposed to be 180. That's supposed to be 80. 2x is equals to 100. You said that. Then, once we do this, so firstly, what we did was we transposed the 80. It went to the other side, became a minus. Then we were left with 2x is equals to 100. This 2x really means 2 times x. To get rid of multiplication, I use division. So I divide by 2, and what happens is my multiplication by 2 and my division by 2 cancel out. And I'm left with my x over here. And then, because I divided by 2 on the one side, I must divide by 2 on the other side. And we get that x is equals to 50. Is this what you told me, Uma?
Yes, ma'am. Can I
Oh.
do the next one, ma'am?
Yes, you can.
So 2x plus 10 plus 3x plus 90 is equals to 180. Sum of angles in a triangle.
How did you know that was 90? Where did 90 come
Because
from?
of the box.
Right. This little box is the symbol for a right angle. And a right angle, as we all know, is always 90 degrees. So that's why we added 90. This angle here symbolizes a 90-degree angle. So yes, you've told me this. You said sum of angles in a triangle. Yes.
5x plus 100 is equals to 180. Um,
Mhm.
5x is equals to 180 minus 100. 5x is equals to 80. Now you divide by 5 on each side.
Mhm.
Uh, taking my calculator, but my calculator doesn't want to work.
Okay, while you're calculating, we transposed our 100. So our positive 100 came to the other side and became a negative 100. That's simplified into 5x is equals to 80.
X is
Mhm.
equal to 16.
And then x is equals to 16.
Sorry for the delay, ma'am.
No stress. It gave me time to explain anyways.
Can I do the next one also, ma'am?
No, you can't because I'm teaching a new rule in the next one and I'm going to do the next one.
Can I guess the new rule?
Yeah, you can.
Quadrilaterals.
No,
Oh, wait. Exterior angles.
100% exterior
Um,
angle.
exterior angles is equals to the interior opposite angles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
correct. Correct. Now, if anybody's wondering what the heck did Umar just say, let me tell you. Okay, so now we have a second geometric reason when we deal with triangles. So I want you to just ignore this therefore. What they're saying is that an exterior angle of a triangle. Now, what do they mean when they talk about an exterior angle of a triangle? So far, what we've spoken about has been interior angles. Okay, we have spoken about the angles inside my triangle. If you look at these three angles over there, we've spoken about the angles inside my triangle. When we talk about an exterior angle of a triangle, we are talking about an angle that is formed by a line of a triangle that is extended, but we're talking about the angle that forms on the outside. So what do I mean? If you look, this line of this triangle has been extended beyond my triangle. And when I talk about the exterior angle, I don't talk about this angle that's created on the inside of the triangle. I talk about the angle that's created by that line of the triangle that's extended outside my triangle. So in this case, A is going to be my exterior angle of my triangle. And now, whenever we identify an exterior angle of a triangle, there's a rule that applies to these exterior angles. And the rule says that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two interior but opposite angles. So, in other words, it must be the two angles inside my triangle, but opposite. So, you can't use this angle here because this angle is actually next to it. So, not really opposite. When we talk about opposite, we're talking about the other two angles in the other corners of my triangle. So, what is the same? It's saying that my exterior angle of a triangle, which is A in this case, is going to be equal to the sum of so add the sum of my interior opposite angles, and that is B and C in this case. Avril, to answer your question, this is geometry of 2D shapes. It's geometry of 2D shapes as a whole. We're doing a series, but right now we're focusing on triangles specifically. So we're looking at geometry rules that apply to triangles. Emilia, okay, just remind me at the end. Umar, yes,
Ma'am, just call me when there's a question to be answered.
I will do that. Um, okay, so this is what my rule says. My exterior angle is equal to the sum of my two interior but opposite angles. So you cannot use this angle inside the triangle that's next to your exterior angle. You must use the other two angles inside the triangle. So I hope that that makes sense for everybody and that we're understanding that. Now, when we use this rule to calculate unknown angles in a diagram, the reason is always going to be exterior angles of a triangle. Gloria has given us the answer for number one. Let me go ahead and check that answer. So what I'm seeing here is they've given me a sort of triangle. It kind of looks like a knife in my brain, almost like a paper plane, depending on the angle you look at it. But they've given us this sort of triangle with a line that's been extended beyond the actual triangle itself. And I see that there's this angle here which is unknown, and they've called it x. So obviously now I am here to solve for x. I need to figure out what is the unknown angle. And when I'm doing this, immediately I see a triangle. I think of my tools. I think of my toolbox. I know in my toolbox, I have specific tools to deal with triangles. Let me see which tool is going to work. I know that I have the tool of sum of angles in a triangle. If I go and I look at the interior angles inside the triangle, well, I can see that I know two of those interior angles, but I actually don't know this third angle. So I could use sum of interior angles in a triangle and calculate this third angle. But the third angle is not what I'm actually looking for. It could help me to calculate this angle, but I'm not really looking for this angle. I'm looking for angle x. So the sum of angles in a triangle, yes, I could use it, but it's not going to get the job done. It's not going to help me the way I want it to. So I look at my next tool, and the next tool that I've now learned is the exterior angle of a triangle. I see this x, this angle x over here. It is an angle that is formed outside of my triangle. It's formed by one of the lines that have been extended, and it's formed outside the triangle. So I know x is my exterior angle. And my rule says that my exterior angle will be equal to the sum of what? The sum of the interior opposite angles. So immediately I know this is the angle next to it. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to use my other angles. And in this case, it's going to be 35 degrees and 20 degrees. And before I even solve my equation, I'm going to write my rule. Exterior angle of a triangle. Then I'm going to solve. 35 plus 20 is going to be 55 degrees. Now, what I want you to see, super quickly is that I could have used sum of angles in a triangle, and I could have calculated this. What you would have seen, it would have been 125. It would have been 125 if you used sum of angles in a triangle. And then what I want you guys to see is that this is a y. What rule can I use where I see a y? Immediately, yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Evening.
Ma'am, the rule you could use is funksy. Yes, funksy.
It is part of the funksy rules, but which rule specifically in that funksy category?
I can't really remember, ma'am.
Not alternate angles. Immediately, do you remember what the y's angle was in funksy? What we call those
What you,
angles?
the co-interior angles, ma'am?
Not co-interior angles. Bree has it in the chat. It is angles on a straight line. So let me go back and refresh everybody's memory super quickly. Remember, this was our fun angles. We have the F, the U, and the N, and I've told you I learned it as funksy. So our F is corresponding angles. The U is co-interior angles. My N is alternate angles. My X is vertically opposite. And my Y is angles on a straight line. Now, this is something you guys need to memorize. Unfortunately, that's the only way you're going to do it. You have to memorize. And actually, memorization comes from repetition. And repetition comes from practice. Hence why I say we have to practice, 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 practice. And that is how we're going to get better. So what we could have done there is we could have gone and said, well, no, we could have said 35 degrees plus 20 degrees plus, let's call that angle y is equals to 180 degrees. Why? Sum of angles in a triangle, we would have calculated y to be 125 degrees. And then what we could have done is, we could have then said, let me go, we could have said 125 degrees plus x is equals to 180. What is my reason? It is angles on a straight line. So remember, guys, geometry is not a topic in isolation. Yes, we're doing 2D shapes, but you also have to think of your other rules that we've learned of so far. And when we do this, it would have been this, and we would have gotten the same answer. So again, multiple methods, same answer. Some methods are better than others, but if you don't see your exterior angle, don't lose your marks and just say, yo, I don't know. Think of other ways. Think of ways to go around. Think of back roads. Think of ways it could. Oh my days. Okay, let me take a break. Think of other ways you can use your tools to get what you need to get done. So that was the first one. I am now going to open this up to anybody who wants to answer. Uma, I see your hand. I'm gonna ask Itandile if she has a question or wants to ask first, though.
Good evening, ma'am. I want to
Mhm.
answer.
You wanna answer?
Yeah.
Great stuff. You'll answer number 2. Uma will answer number 3. Uma, I know you're gonna calculate it while we're busy, so I'll just hide that from you super quickly. Itandile, yes. Take me through this one.
So, ma'am, what I did was I said x is equal to 140 plus 70
Why 140 plus 70?
because, ma'am, exterior angles of the exterior angles
Mm-hmm.
in a triangle.
So why did you ignore the 4 and the 78?
Ma'am,
Right, it's 144.
plus 178. Sorry.
Right, but let me stop you there. What you said was the rule is that the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the interior opposite angles. So in this triangle, which one is the exterior angle?
Exterior, it's 144.
Right. So that means that my exterior angle is equals to what?
To 78 plus x.
100%. What's my reason?
Exterior angles in the triangle.
Exterior angle. And I always do that. It's just exterior angle. And it's not really in, so I'm going to go exterior angle of a triangle. What did I write earlier? Exterior angle of a triangle. Cool, cool, cool. Okay, so we have exterior angle of a triangle. Now what?
144 minus 78.
So we're transposing our 78 because we want to get x by itself. That will become 144 minus 78 equals x. Yes? What's next?
X is equal to 66.
X is equals to 66. If you're confused about how we swap this, you don't have to be. All I did was we said 144 minus 76, it is 66 degrees, and x was on this side. And just to write it in a more understandable format, we just swapped them around. So we took x on this side, 66 on the other side, and that was cool. We didn't actually take it on the other side because now you guys are going to ask me, oh, man, but they're supposed to both be negatives. No, we really just wrote this in a way that's more understandable. If we took it to the other side, let's say we did, it would be negative and a negative. We would have divided by -1 on both sides, and then negative, negative cancels, negative, negative cancels. We're left with x is equal to 66. So just in case somebody wanted to be technical and was confused about what just happened, if you said, but ma'am, if you took it to the other side, it should have been negative. This is what would have happened if we made it a negative. Cool. Itandile, thank you for answering. You answered beautifully.
My pleasure, ma'am.
Uma, you are up next.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, my maths teacher said that our reason must be exterior angles equals to some interior opposite angles. Is that the same thing?
It is the same thing. Like I said, if your teacher gives you a specific reason they want you to use, then you're going to use the reason your teacher gives you. I know maths is supposed to be universal, but sometimes teachers are not the most forgiving. So you're just going to do what your specific teacher tells you because they are the ones marking your paper. But yes, it is the same thing. It's just a different shorthand version of the same rule.
So what I'm gonna do first is calculate x because I like calculating in alphabetical order.
Okay.
70 plus 40 plus x is equals to 180. My
Okay.
reason is sum of angles in a triangle.
Hold on for me. So what Umar has said is he's seen, okay, there's two unknowns here. There's X and there's Y. Now we obviously have to figure out which one are we going to do first. Umar has said he likes to do X first because it comes first. So he's looking now at X and he's trying to see what rule can I use that will help me to figure out what X is. And he said, okay, well, this is a triangle. Cool. This is a triangle. And inside my triangle, I know two of my angles, which means there's only one unknown angle, which means the minute you have a triangle where there's two angles that you know of and only one unknown, you can use sum of angles in a triangle. You create your equation, you have your one unknown, and you can solve. So, Umar, yes, solve for us.
So now x is equals to 180 minus 110, x is equals to 70.
Okay, x is equals to 180 degrees. We then transpose our 70 and 40, and he's combined it to become a negative 110. X is equals to 70 degrees. 100%.
Ma'am, for y, there's two ways you can do it by my same reason, but 70 plus 40 is equals to y. My reason is exterior opposite angles, y is equals to 110.
Exterior angle of a triangle. You continue using your reason. Good job. And that is 110. What's the second way?
So second way is since we have x, we can do angles on a straight line. If I'm right, there could be a third way. Nah. Ma'am, we must look for every single way possible to solve, because in a test, if you don't know how to solve something, then you'll just get the thing wrong, ma'am.
100%. Okay, so help me now with this angles on a straight line. What's my statement going to be?
So if you're using angles on a straight line, 70 plus 110 is no 70 plus y is equals to 180.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. Yep.
Sum of angles on a straight line. Y is equals to 180 minus 70. Y is equals to 110.
100%. Thank you. Okay, so Uma said, let's transpose the 70 because we want y by itself. Y is equals to 180 degrees minus 70. Y is equals to 110 degrees. Okay, that brings us to our brain break. But before that, Unati, do you have a question?
Ma'am, I'm a bit confused as to why for when we had to solve y, why didn't we say 70 plus 40 plus 70 because we found the value of x?
Because remember, I did not use sum of angles in a triangle. I used the rule, which is exterior angles of a triangle. And so the rule that's exterior angles of a triangle, and let's look at it. So now we know this is 70. Okay. The rule that is
Mhm.
exterior angles of a triangle tells me that my exterior angle is going to be equals to the sum. So in other words, my exterior angle is y, is going to be equals to the sum of, and what is it the sum of? It's the sum of my interior opposite angles. So not all of the interior angles, Unati, but just the opposite angles. I didn't
Mhm.
use 70 because 70 is not opposite y. 70 is next to y. Do you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
So the rule is not this, it's not that your exterior angle is equal to the sum of all of your interior angles, because then do you agree that your interior angles are all always going to equal 180, which
Yes,
means
ma'am.
if that was the case, your exterior angle would also always be 180. And that
Yes,
is
ma'am.
not true. So it's only the sum of your interior opposite angles, not all of the interior angles.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Pleasure. So that was how we got that. um, Applying that rule. Cool. If there's any other questions, you guys are more than welcome to ask. Um, in the meantime, I'm going to move into my brain break. And also, while you guys talk about this, nobody answer. Ma'am, do you have to start your interior angles on the left? Or can I start it like, you can start it like that 100%, Zach, as long as you give your correct reason, that's fine. While you guys discuss this, I'm going to close my curtains. I started the lesson today and it was still like super bright outside, so I didn't close curtains. But now it's dark. So talk about this. I'll be back. Um, lose all my teeth. Give hugs a lot. Lose all my teeth. Why is everybody saying lose my teeth? What is even the question? Would you rather lose all your teeth or lose a day of your life every time you hug someone? Guys, honestly, you can just stop hugging people, you know? Like, imagine now you're losing all your teeth. Now you can't even eat properly. Like, yo, I don't know, that just feels like a lot. Um Sorry, I'm trying to Liaho, yes.
Ma'am, like I never hug people, so it's yeah, but ma'am, Mina, I eat a lot of meat as well, all that stuff. So ma'am, I need my teeth. Even eating pizza.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
Liaho, imagine you go to like a family function. Do you hug your family when you greet them?
yes, ma'am, but not that much.
You see, now you go to a family function, now you hug 15
I then
members
ma'am,
of your family. Yo.
then I'm not gonna go then.
Good
Yeah,
point. I agree with
yeah,
you, Liapo. Like, I can just tell him, hey, listen, I'm gonna lose my life if I hug you. Like, just relax. You
ish,
know,
ma'am.
just
Yeah,
relax. I
yeah.
agree with you, Liapo.
Mhm. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, Brie.
Personally, I would lose my teeth because I love giving hugs, especially when I can see that my friends are not okay, and they like giving me hugs. So I guess I would die in 24 hours.
I get that. I also really love hugs. But for me, it's so weird because I like it when I hug someone, but I don't want them to hug me back. Like, I just want them to stand there and then I can hug them. I don't know why.
Why
That's
then?
like super comforting for me. I don't know why. Um, but I get it. I also really like giving people hugs. But I would give it
Yeah.
up for my life, you know? Well, actually, I don't even enjoy
Wow.
life that much. I don't know.
How then?
I don't know. Maybe I might start to agree with you. I agree with both of you. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Brie, I see your point. I get it. I get it.
Okay, man.
Oh, Liahu with his thumbs up. I'm sorry. Okay, next question. Would you rather never eat watermelon ever again or be forced to eat it with every meal? Itandile, yes.
Ma'am, I never eat watermelon ever again.
I hate the seeds in the watermelon. I really, really hate the seeds in the watermelon, and like they like getting in your teeth, and it's just weird.
I cannot agree with you guys in the chat and with you, Itandile. What do you mean you guys don't like watermelon? What do you
And
mean?
although it's a watermelon, ma'am, I get it. It's a watermelon, it's fine, but then it's like too much. Like the seeds are too black. The watermelon
No.
is either too pink or too red. Be one color. Either the seeds are in your teeth or like you don't like the seeds. I'm like, wow. And you know what I do when I eat a watermelon? I have to cut it in small little pieces so I can get the seeds out.
Oh my gosh, you're one of those people. I love it when it's like on the rind still, and you're like just holding it and like just eating it from like the skin. Oh my gosh, you guys are missing out. Watermelon is like a top tier fruit. It's the best fruit. Sorry, Sandile, I can't agree with you, but I see your decision and I'll respect it.
Thank you. I don't respect your decision, but then I'm fine with it. Right, man.
Okay, Liacho, I see your hand. I'm gonna take Uma to answer this one. You can answer the next one, Liacho. Yes, Uma.
Ma'am, who said that you have to chew the watermelon? You can just swallow it.
What about the seeds, though? Like
Ma'am, just swallow the seeds.
that's also true. Like the seeds are not gonna kill you. So, is that what you do, Uma? You just swallow it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness gracious, crazy. Liacho, this one is for you. Would you rather get a paper cut every time you turn a page, or would you bite your tongue every time you eat?
Ma'am, paper cut, ma'am. I need to eat peacefully. But ma'am, also paper cuts are painful, ma'am. But my tongue, nah, ma'am.
But
I want to
Liaho,
eat
think
peacefully.
about it, right? It just said every time you eat. So every time you eat a meal, you just bite your tongue once and then it's done. The pain lasts for like 30 seconds and then it's gone. With a paper cut, you feel it. You put your hands in water, you feel it. It gets caught on your blanket, you feel it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, ma'am. I know what you mean, ma'am. But yo, ma'am, my tongue, ma'am. And also, ma'am, I feel like we did have this one. I think last term or something.
In my brain breaks,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't think we did. Oh, well, actually, maybe we did.
Actually, I think so, ma'am. I don't know actually, but yeah.
I don't know. I told you, I'm so running out of ideas for these
Actually,
brain breaks.
yeah, ma'am. But anyway, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Liaho. And then we have Uma, Itandile, and Bree, whose hands are all up. I will take it, but you each get 30 seconds to state your case. Okay, Uma, go.
Alright, ma'am, timer starts now. Right, so, I'll rather get a paper cut because have you ever bit your tongue, right? And you feel like so much pain.
But paper
And,
cuts.
like, ma'am, imagine if you bite, like, they don't state how hard you bite your tongue. But
Exactly.
imagine if you bite it so hard that it comes out.
That's like so not gonna happen. The chances of that happening are so slim. And think about it, you only eat like 3 times a
ma'am,
day and maybe snacks.
Science
But
says that you can bite off your finger, ma'am. So the chances of you biting off your tongue.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying the chances are so low that happens. But okay, Uma, you're gonna get paper cuts. And the thing is, you guys are at school. I don't know how you're saying you want to get paper cuts. Every time you open a book, paper cuts.
Ma'am, easiest way, just don't do the work.
Easiest way, but also fastest way to fail. Anyways, Uma, that's your 30 seconds. Thank you for answering. Itandile, yes. 30 seconds. Itandile, you like to go over time. 30 seconds.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, I rather get a paper cut. You know what? It's because imagine you're eating spare ribs or you're eating nice meat here, and you're basically having every time you're biting, you bite your tongue. No, ma'am. I'd rather have a paper cut. Although I'm gonna have a paper cut, I can at least write my work. Fastest way of thinking.
But you see, like it didn't say every time you chew you're gonna bite your tongue. It just said every time you eat. So like you start eating your meat, the beginning of the meal you
But
bite your
then,
tongue,
ma'am, but
and then
then, ma'am, have you not like when you bite your tongue, it's like you can cry and call for your mother. That's how I feel. So I'd rather get a paper cut every time, like I open a book or I flip a page. But then it's better than every time I'm eating, bite my tongue. It's like I can cry.
I get it. I get it. Also, Zach is very smart in the chat, asking somebody else to turn his pages. Smart. Anyways. Oh my gosh, also there's so many of us. Love that. Brie, yes, finish us off. What do you say?
Well, I'm agreeing with Uma and Itandile. I'd
Mhm.
rather get a paper cut because, first of all, I could flip it with my left hand. I mean, it's practically useless after all.
But you're still gonna
So,
feel the pain. Like it stings. Paper cuts sting.
yeah, they do. But compared to when I bite my tongue, like, bro, that thing really lasts for a long time. Even when I try to chew 24 hours later, somewhat the pain is
Oh my
still there.
gosh. Okay, no. Okay, I get why you would choose a paper cut here. For me, it's the other
Yeah.
way. Like when I bite my tongue, 30 seconds later, I'm fine. But a paper cut, no way.
So, ma'am, I wouldn't mind actually,
Man,
you
we
know?
all got the same, man.
Yeah, that's why I say I get it why Brie would choose that. Anywho, moving on. Let's see how many we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plenty of time for us to do these. Let's go. Um. Okay, ignore this random number 9 over there. I was just cutting it out from worksheets. What am I gonna do here? Do I know? Does anybody know? Our hands up to answer or from brain break?
Man, I'm up to answer.
Okay, Itandile, you?
To answer, ma'am.
Okay, cool. So what I'm gonna do here is I actually want to answer this one. Itandile, you'll take the next one. Sorry, Uma ladies first, and
But
Uma,
like,
you'll take
yeah, the first one that you're gonna do is easy, man. Come on.
That's why I said I'm gonna do it. Itandile, you'll take the next one. Uma, you'll take the next one. Okay.
And you
So
also can do the last one.
Can I please see it, ma'am?
no, Itandile, it must be fresh. I want to hear your thoughts. We're gonna go through it together. Okay.
Okay,
So
ma'am. But then I don't like myself
We
thinking.
suffer
Okay.
together, guys. We suffer together.
you guys will be fine. And I did that on purpose so you guys don't see it and work it out and not pay attention to this what I'm doing. I see a triangle. The first thing I know about triangles, I learned rules that specifically relate to triangles. What are they? Interior angles of a triangle, all of those should add up to 180, and the exterior angle should add up. No, the exterior angle should equal to the sum of my interior opposite angles. So let me look. I see an exterior angle, but this exterior angle should be equal to 81 plus y. Right now, that's not going to help me because if I do this equation, I'm going to have two unknowns because I don't know x and I don't know y. So my exterior angle, not going to help me for now. My other tool I can use is interior angle. I know two angles inside. And like I said, the minute you know two of your angles inside, you can calculate what y is. Now, if you wanted to calculate x first, you could 100% look at this and see this is a y. Y is part of my fancy rules. Let's do angles on a straight line. But for now, because we're dealing specifically with triangles, I'm going to show you guys the triangle rules. So we're going to say y is equals to 69 plus 81. I don't know what I'm doing. Y plus 69 plus 81 is equals to 180 degrees. And that is going to be sum of angles in a triangle. Let's solve this. 60 plus 80 is 140, plus 9 and 1 is 10, so 150. So that gives me y plus 150 equals 180. Somebody confirm my math. I don't know if I just did that right. y is equals to 180. I want to get y by itself, so I'm going to remove this positive 150. How do I remove it? Well, I remove it by minusing 150 on this side and minusing 150 on this side. Plus 150 minus 150 cancels, and I am left with the minus 150 on this side. In other words, I transposed. Y is then equals to 30 degrees. Boom. I now know that y is 30 degrees. Now what I can see is now my exterior angle of a triangle is going to help me. Because now I know what y is. So there's only going to be one unknown. X is equals to 150. Y is equals to 30. Demi, that's correct. Y is equals to 30. And let us go and check what is X going to be equal to. Well, X is my exterior angle. I know this rule that says my exterior angle of a triangle is equals to the sum. So the sum of what? The sum of my interior opposite angles. So not this angle, because this angle is next to it, not opposite. So in other words, what are my opposite angles? It's 81 degrees plus 30 degrees. And because of that, we have 81 plus 30. 80 plus 30 is 110, and plus 1 is 111. Uma, you're saying 101. Isandile saying 149.
Yeah, let me give you my explanation, right?
Mm-hmm.
81 plus 10 is 91.
Mm-hmm.
91 plus 10 is 101. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, ma'am. 111, ma'am. We don't talk about that mathematical error, ma'am.
Okay.
We don't talk about it. It's no more important than maths error. We don't talk about it anymore.
Okay.
Pretend that it never happened, ma'am.
I don't even know what you're talking about. There we go. I see some correct answers in the chat. You guys made me like, I was like, what am I doing? Like, is something wrong? No, it is 111. So if you got it wrong, I hope that you see where you went wrong. If you don't know what just happened, raise your hand. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about where you got your answer wrong. If you see where you got it wrong, make sure that you remember. And oh my goodness, X is equals to 81 plus 30. Y, exterior angle, and not angles, but just the exterior angle of a triangle. Cool. Any questions up until here? I actually haven't gotten any reactions this match. Yo, I'm playing too many games. This lesson. There we go. Lots of thumbs ups. Great stuff. Cool. Moving on. Itandile is up. Let's go, Itandile.
Why, ma'am? Why? Why today?
I mean,
I
you
have to
told me your
choose.
hand was up to answer, so.
Yes, ma'am. So when you're busy doing that one, I could be doing this one.
Sorry.
Okay, ma'am. So I can't use, ma'am. Can I use interior angles because I don't see an angle in the inside?
You don't see an angle, but look at this. I don't know
Yes.
this angle, but I don't know this angle either. Why don't I know this angle? Because there's a variable in it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. If this angle said X, then I could go and I could write an equation because it's the same variable. Do you see that? It's still like one unknown. But because they didn't tell us that what this is it X? Is it something else? We can't assume. And so that means there's going to be two unknowns if we use interior angles of a triangle.
So let's use exterior, which is 2x is equals to 65 plus x minus 5. Exterior angles, exterior angle of a triangle.
100%.
Okay, so ma'am, it's gonna be 2x is equals to 65. What? No, it's gonna be 2x minus x is equals to 65. No, 5 minus 65.
So
Wow,
we
no.
don't have to move these, right? Because they're both on the same side. All we had to do was we had to move x over.
Yes, ma'am.
So we had to get our variables on one side, remember? And here there's two terms with variables. So I want to get both of those terms on one side. So I moved my x over and then it solved everything for me. I have all my x's on one side and all my constants on the other side. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Cool.
So, ma'am, 2x minus x is equals to x. 65 minus 5 is 60.
100%. Not so bad, Itandile.
Ma'am, I could have done that faster.
But now you got to pay attention to this first one and this one. So really, I did you a favor. Okay. Thank you for answering, Itandile. Beautifully done. Uma, let's make your image a little bit bigger. Okay, Uma, tell me what you're seeing.
So what I can see is 90 degrees on this side. So I'm gonna say 50. No, 90 minus 53 is equals to x.
Okay. Take me a step back. Give me like that first equation.
So x is equals to 90 minus 53.
So why I said take me a step back, let's do like the original equation. What Uma has said, he's seen a triangle. Boom. He's seen this triangle. We want to calculate x. Firstly, I can't use interior angles because we only know one angle in this triangle. So interior angles in a triangle, not going to help me. But what he sees is this line of my triangle has been extended and it's created this exterior angle, which is 90 degrees. Okay. And so what he said is that this 90 degree, sorry, can't do that. I'm muting. Okay. What he's saying is that this 90 degree angle is an exterior angle. And my rule is that my exterior angle is equal to, and it's equal to what? It's equal to the sum of my interior opposite angles. Right now, these are my interior opposite angles. So he's saying 53 plus x. This is what I meant by take me a step back, Uma. So just this equation. So anybody who didn't understand how you got x by itself first could see this. So this, now my reason is exterior angle of a triangle. Uma, tell me now what you did next.
So 90 minus 53 is equals to x.
What is 90 minus 53?
90 minus 53 is equals to 37. So x is equals to 37, and then we don't have to calculate for anything else, ma'am. Can I do the next one, ma'am, please?
Time is up, Uma. You were the one who used to count down. Do you know that?
And
you used to count us down.
Ma'am, we don't talk about that anymore, ma'am. That's the old me, ma'am. I became a new person, ma'am.
Okay. Do this one quickly. Just answer anyone. There's 3 letters, answer one.
X is equals to 80, y is equals to 80 plus 60, which equals to 180 if I'm right. So 80 plus 60 is equals to 180. 180 minus y is equals to 40. Then angles on a straight line, z is equals to 140.
Okay, I'm gonna take everybody through what you just did. He said x plus 100 must equal 180. That's how we got x is equals to 180 minus 100. X is equals to 80. Next, I got that y is equals to 40. Y plus 60 plus 80 equals to 180. Y, sum of angles in my triangle. 60 plus 80 is 140. This is going to be y is equals to 180 minus 140. Y is equals to 40. That's how I got 40. And then to get z, you can use exterior angles of a triangle. So you could go ahead and say z is going to be equals to this angle plus this angle, or you could use angles on a straight line. I'm not going to calculate that right now.
Ma'am,